everybody. Happy Wednesday. I hope everyone's doing well. My name is Elizabeth Gaines, and I am an expert and a coach in burnout. And I really relate to your struggles with exhaustion and anxiety and decision paralysis because I was there, and I was there for a really long time. So I want to help you draw a line back to your former self, that one sort of bursting with creativity and passion, and I want to help you do it as quickly as possible so that you don't get stuck in that phase like I did. So today I want to talk about one of the pillars of my program, which is community. When we think about the people around us, we need to think of that as an outward reflection of our inside health. So this is a really good sort of thermometer or barometer, as it were, for deciding how your relationship with yourself is by looking around at your community. So I know that's sort of esoteric and hard to understand, and I did have a client recently who was like, that's a cop-out, Elizabeth, like, whatever. My community, I can't control people, I can only control myself, right? So if my community is competitive and they are manipulating and they're backstabbing and they're backbiting, like, I don't have any control over that. So I want to kind of address that in this live today. So what is your community? It can be defined in tiers. So there is a theory that your innermost circle is the 5 people closest to you, the 5 people that you spend the most amount of time with. And then in the next circle, there's your 50 that surround that, who are there in your work environment or in your hobbies or wherever you may encounter them. And then beyond that circle, there is the 150 who you interact with most on social media or you see every now and then, but who are not the significant factors in your life. So this theory states that you can really only interact with about 150 people in your life at one time. So if we think about our inner circle, those 5 people that are closest to us, it's going to be our intimate partners, and you can define that how you will, and our closest friends. And this theory also goes on to espouse that we are a combination of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. So are those people in our corner? Are they supportive when we fail? Are they reactionary? Do they get upset with us when things don't go right? Or are they loving and understanding and they speak to us in a supportive way and in a loving way? And then we can go out to the next 50 and say, okay, who in there is supportive and what does that constituency look like? And then we can go out to the 150 and do the same thing. And if you're in my program, we have a whole inventory of how to evaluate your community. So we can go much more in depth in this. But I just want to give a little example of how community is the outward reflection of what's happening for you inside. So success can be a tricky thing, right? So when you succeed, when you have a really big success in your life, who in your community is like, hell yes, that's amazing? And who in your community is like, yeah, congratulations, that's good, right? And I think a lot of us tend to say, why does no one care about my success? Why is no one there rooting for me in my corner, enthusiastically ecstatic about my success? And I would say, okay, then it's time to look inside. And it's time to do a really honest evaluation of when people in your life succeed, what is your reaction? And I'm not talking about what comes out of your mouth. I'm talking about what happens energetically. When they say, oh, I'm going to go off and take this trip, or I'm going to start this new endeavor, or I'm going to do this, that, or the other. And in your own vibration, do you automatically get constricted? Are you automatically I feel threatened by the fact that you're about to grow, or that you have grown, or that you have a level of success? And I would say that if your community around you is not ecstatic about your success, it is because you have not yet learned to be ecstatic about other people's success. And I'm not saying this as a judgment at all, right? Because success is very, very tricky. So when someone else succeeds and that threatens us, then it's not that we're bad people, we don't like our friends, it's not that. It's that we still have some deep-seated beliefs about scarcity. And so if they're taking a bigger piece of the pie, then that means there's less for us. And so it's this kind of fear. It's a fear-based response. It's not that we don't love them. It's not that we're horrible people. It's that we are still reacting out of fear. So if we feel that fear when someone around us succeeds, then that's the energy that we're holding. And that is going to be what reflects itself in our own community. So then our own community is also going to be composed of people who resonate with that energy, who say, oh, okay, so if you're succeeding, I'm going to be really threatened by that. And I'm not going to be able to be in your corner, and I'm not going to be able to cheer you on. So in that way, community is 100% a reflection of who we are inside. So when you look around at your community and you say, okay, no one supports me in my success, no one's excited about that, then it's time to use that as an absolute roadmap to what you need to deal with in yourself. And that's just a small example. So I want you to take some time today to think about that and to take some stock of your community and to really use that as a mirror for yourself. And again, do this without judgment. This doesn't mean that you're bad or horrible. It doesn't mean that you're not a good person. It means that you still have some areas where you're operating out of fear. And that's showing up in the outside. And this is actually a gift. This is actually a gift because sometimes this inner work is really hard and esoteric, and it's really hard to sort of look in those dark corners and see what's really there. So look outside. Look at that outward reflection, and that's going to tell you where the inner work still has to be done. So thank you for watching, and if you want to go more in depth with this, drop me a DM, drop me a comment, drop me an emoji, whatever, and we can talk about this more in depth. And this is definitely one of the pillars of my program. So if you feel like you're a good fit for the program, let me know. And I hope you have a great day.